Good morning, everybody. Broadcasting live from Morelia, Mexico. I'm Bill the Geek, and I've got to plug something in. We're going to get some real bad feedback. Hold on a second. Sorry about that, everybody. That's a mic we have to plug in or we get really bad feedback. But anyway, I'm Bill the Geek, broadcasting live from Morelia, Mexico for the second time. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, and we make presentations about the joys of living in Mexico. As always, very nervous this morning. Hope we can pull this off. I haven't upped my internet speed yet, but I think we got a higher upload than downloads. We got better upload than download. We got a bunch of people in the house early this morning. Glad to see everybody here. If you're new here, just relax, ask any questions that you would like. I've lived in Mexico for about almost 20 years. It'll hit 20 years this February. I've lived in Puerto Vallarta, Guadalajara, Ajijic, Chapala, El Arenal. I was in, where was I last? Mazatlan, and I've been in Morelia. This is almost 2 weeks. I guess Monday will hit my second week. My life is almost normal here. And I got a bunch of video clips to share with you on my first couple of weeks. Let's look around and see who is in the house. We got Joan Craig in the house from Cruces, New Mexico. We got my neighbor, Ms. Sam, who I hope to meet within the next month or two. Char Williams is in the house. Good morning to you, Char. And Meg M from Taos, New Mexico. And Meg, you contributed to me by clicking the donate button in the link below in the description last week. I want to thank you so much for that donation. Sometimes I get notified by that instantly via email, so I couldn't say thank you last week, but I want to thank you very much. Here's Miss Sam. Buenos dias, Char. What buenos dias? People talking to each other. We're a big family. We're a big family in here. So, ask questions. I don't know everything about anything. I know some stuff. I can answer some questions, but it never fails that somebody here in the group will answer questions that I do not know the answer to. Verlaine, are you back? Oh, look, Verlaine and Harry are here. Oh, great. Always great to see you. Buenos dias, everyone. Heidi Lane. Buenos dias. Let's see, what camera are we using now? Heidi Lane, I don't remember ever seeing you here before. You knew. Let us know where you are. Do I know you? Are you an Ajijic? Look who's here. Pretty boy, Brian Maiden. Whenever Brian Maiden shows up on the show, I get a bunch of emails from women internationally. They want to know where he is and how they can get a hold of him. Isn't that terrible? We got my new neighbor that I hope to meet sometime within the next couple of months, David, and his lovely wife, Maria. We got Matt in Ajijic. Hola, Bill. Hola, todos. Happy Saturday. Quite the lightning storm this morning in Ajijic. Ajijic. I'm only like 3.5 hours from Ajijic. Nancy, good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday from Houston. And Savvy said she was going to be in the house. She owns or co-owns a fabulous bed and breakfast right outside of Chapala, Ajijic. We did an interview with her about 3 months ago. It's a fabulous place, great place for a retreat. reach out to her so that you can go stay there, enjoy the peace and quiet in her beautiful facility. And you be sure to send me some money for that plug. Okay, she thinks so, she speaks. And she's back in Charlotte. You back in Charlotte? What are you doing in Charlotte? You were in Merida last week. You just hopping around. I got jet setters that join us every week. You never know where they're going to be. Listen, Henry is in the house. Good to see you live the second Saturday in Morelia. Always happy to be here. Last week was my first week. It may be hard to see that little table that the football is sitting on over there. There's a football sitting on that little table over there. Last week I was broadcasting from that little table, and then this week I went to my new favorite place to shop called La Comer, and they had this big table. So now I've got both computers on this big table, and my lights are over there. I've got a beautiful view of Morelia. I got all this room. So I'm hoping that this week can be even better than last week. Eric in the house from Houston. Great to see you here, Eric. Ken Art, the main man. Ken Art in the house, jumping out of airplanes. And Stefan, Ola Bill, I'm glad to see you landed. All is well. First thing, how's the grub? Oh, the grub is very good. I'm going to show you some grub this week and next week. I'm going to show you some shots. I went to several places this week and took videos. I got those videos ready for you to roll. So we'll get to that very soon. Michelle, good morning, everyone. Oh, you are so sweet. And Axel Foley in the house. Beautiful 75 degrees up here in Pocono Mountain. Speaking of Poconos, the weather is great here right now. Right now it's about 63 degrees. It's going to be a high of 75 today. It's been raining about every day, but like right now it's you can't see any blue sky. It's totally cloudy. But it's 63 degrees in Mazatlan. What the heat index is like 114 degrees. You can't walk around outside. You might melt. But it's going to be a high of about 74, 75 today. I think the high this week is going to be 79. We're going to have lows around 58, 59. The weather is perfect for me. Before I got on the show today, I had on 2 hoodies. Right now, I have on 2 pairs of socks because I don't want to freeze. And my new friend, Will Ortiz, hope to meet up on our next trip to Morelia. Won't travel by bus. And I talked to Will Ortiz and his wife, Ruth, yesterday. They had quite the amazing bus trip. I did put up a video this week about the bus trip from hell, which it was me getting here. But Will and his and Ruth, they were on a bus. In fact, they live in Mazatlan, and they took the bus to Morelia from Mazatlan, and I forget whether it was on the way there or on the way back. The bus got stopped, or the bus driver asked them for ID on the bus, and they only had their visa. I think they had their second-year visa cards, but they didn't have their passports with them. And the management of the bus company and the bus driver didn't feel comfortable with them being on the bus at all. So they threw them off of the bus because they didn't have their passports. I've never heard of that happening before. So what they did was, wherever they were near, they just got a plane a airplane to Milan. Very, very strange. But whenever I take the bus, I always have my permanent visa, and I put that permanent visa in my passport. Should the federales pull the bus over, because many times they do, and they search all your stuff, ask you for identification. But what happened to them was very alarming. I talked to them yesterday for about a half an hour about that, and I'm glad that you guys made it, and it was great to talk with you. Maybe we can do an interview about that. PJ, Jacqueline is in the house. Buenos dias, Jacqueline. Manny, hi, Bill. Tell us how you obtained your senior citizens discount card. Okay, tell you what. Here's what you do. I gotta do some things here. Here's what you do, Manny. Go to my website. Hold on a second here. Here you go. Go to my website, billthegeek.org. And in fact, you don't even have to go to billthegeek.org FAQs. Just go to billthegeek.org. And let me make sure about this. I'm going to go to that page right now. billthegeek.org. Okay. Oh, yeah. And at the very top of the page, you'll see a link that says very helpful info. And if you hover over very helpful info there, the first link under that drop-down menu will be senior discount card, something like that. Click on that and you can see the full video on how I got the card. Let me hide that. Go back to comments and let me run through my memory a little bit here. It was very easy. I got my senior citizen discount card in Chapala, and they have a national organization in the country of Mexico. And there's some name for it. It's like 3 letters. Maybe I'll remember it before I get off the show today. But they have offices throughout Mexico. You just go there and you have to give them some documentation, your basic stuff. And then you fill out a couple of forms. And I went there the next day, came back, got the card. I got it laminated. And once you get it one time, you're good to go. And laws change every 15 minutes in Mexico. Some people tried to get the card like within the last 12 months. I know some people in Ajijic, they said, well, we couldn't get the card. They weren't giving out cards anymore, something like that. Oh, I think the organization is called DIF, if I'm not mistaken. And so you can go to the Mexican bulletin board or search for DIF Mexico, and they will share with you all of the discounts that you can get. You can get discounts, movie theaters half off, bus rides half off, pharmaceuticals are only like 10 to 15% off. Some airlines will give you 40 to 50% off. Oh, if you go to any museum, any Mexico government museum or parks, like you might go to an aquarium or something like that in the city, 50% off that. It's very handy. And for us senior citizens that are just living on our YouTube page, and we only make money from people giving us donations on our YouTube channel, that card comes in very handy to help us save money. Dominique, buenos dias. Hola, chica. You look as good as you did last week. Look at her. The weather in Morelia is my kind of weather. I do not like humidity. The weather is fabulous here. And it's like Ms. Sam was saying to us like 3 months ago. She was saying, I pinch myself every day I get up. I pinch myself. And last night I went to bed. I had on a sheet and 2 covers and I was chilly. I'd wear a skull cap to keep my head warm with the beautiful breeze and the fresh air. I love this place so much. But Matt Brazelton knows because he's in Ahi, and the weather there is excellent also. Ambrose, Hood. Okay, Hood. I don't quite understand what you're saying there. But thank you very much, Jacqueline. Enjoy lunch. USD is up today. Thank you so much for contributing to the channel because that is how we can afford to travel, make videos, buy equipment. I got to update my internet this week. Right now, I was a little worried this week. In fact, I was worried about 30 minutes ago. Because one computer was not connecting to the internet. I gotta buy internet this week. I'm going to get Total Play. If you're in Mexico, Total Play is the service to have for internet. But whatever. Thank you so much for contributing to the channel, Jacqueline. DJ Buzzard, your funky bus adventure story was funny but informative at the same time. Thank you so much. That's why we are here, man. And who's here but Mary Jane? Mary Jane is in the house. Great to see you here again. And looky, is it somebody new? Oh, Donetta Ivy Adams from Columbus, Ohio. That's my hometown. Broaden High, Short North, German Village, Gahanna, West Side, East Side, North Side, South Hyde, Bishop Reedy, Eastmore, Bishop Hartley. Yeah, that's my hometown. Go Ohio State Buckeyes. Great to see you in the house. And more important than anything, White Castle cheeseburgers. Buy them by the sack. Yes. Oh, I wish they would. I've seen Burger King down here, McDonald's. Yesterday I saw, I saw Applebee's yesterday. I saw a couple other American places. I wish that White Castle, I wish they would get rid of McDonald's, get rid of Burger King down here, get rid of Pizza Hut, and replace them all with White Castle cheeseburger, headquartered in Columbus, Ohio. Let's just keep rolling here. Amen. Jacqueline FYI inquired about the card in Albaraz. He said they are not issuing the card anymore. That's funny. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I got mine. Some people are getting them. I know that some people are still getting them in Mazatlan. If you're out there and if you've applied for a card recently from somewhere, let us know. And again, if you're new here, if this is your first time here, ask any questions. That stuff like that is extremely informative. But I got mine. It's permanent, just like my permanent visa. So if you can't get yours, I'm sorry. You just have to pay that money. Kim J. Ola Kim J. in the house. Kim J. went through some family situations in the last couple of 2-3 months. I think people were dying off on her, important people. And so she in fact, we were getting ready to do an interview right before you went through all of that trauma. So if you'd like to, let's hook up that interview. If I'm not mistaken, Kim J lives in San Miguel Allende. I haven't been there in about 40 years. Have to return. Helen, good morning from Wilmington, Delaware. She must live a couple of blocks away from Joe Biden. And yes, the election is coming up. I tell you what, yeah, you guys know I was talking politics heavy about 3 or 4 months ago. I lost about 10,000 subscribers because people didn't like what I was saying. But the election stuff is getting so wild and woolly. I don't even like to watch it anymore. It's just so crazy. But whatever. And look who is here from Italy. Susie La Dose, Yahoo, caught another live. Great to see you in the house. She says she's coming down to Mazatlan sometime. And who's this? Earthly Color Brown. Hola, Memo y amigos. Bucerías now. Buenos dias, love Mexico. Right on, girl. Me too. Buenos dias, love Mexico. Love you, girl. Hey, Lois. Hola, it's so hot here. Oh, yeah. Bucerías is right next to Puerto Vallarta. And Puerto Vallarta gets hot as hell in the summertime, and Bucerías is only like 7 miles away. Those ocean cities, man, Merida, Puerto Vallarta, Malaki, Mazatlan, all those coastal cities, it gets hot as hell there. And that's why the Canadians know Mazatlan, they should just rename that city Canadian City, because I've never met so many Canadians as in my life as in Mazatlan. Canadians been visiting Mazatlan before Mazatlan was Mazatlan. They should have called it Canada, Little Canada, Mexico. That's what they should have called it. But I tell you what, there ain't no Canadians in Mazatlan right now. No, they're up in Canada where it's nice and cool. They don't stay for all that heat. I know a couple of year-round Canadians. I think there's one. That's it. William Mustache Stoneman is in the house. Howdy from rainy East Tennessee. First rain in weeks. Good for you. Lenora Wilson, Ola F to you too. Bill, we used to do White Castle after we went to the club on Friday. The lines were long. And for those of you that do not know White Castle, they're these little cheeseburgers. They're about a fourth of the size of a McDonald's cheeseburger, but they're square and they have holes in them. They put holes in them and you can see them cooking in the onions, and then they steam the buns. And they used to cost literally 10 cents for a burger. And now they have the jalapeno burgers. And Helen is so right, because you would go to bars, and in Columbus, the bars would close at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And sure, then you go to White Castle because they're open 24/7, and there'd be a line of 40 people buying White Castle cheeseburgers, and everybody was high or drunk. Whatever. Okay, Bill, I'm not coming to Mazatlan. Too hot for me. Coming to Morelia, girl. You come on down, and we'll be ready for you, Senor Mexico. Hola from Rehoboth, Delaware. What are you doing there? Lois, I'm melting. Where are you, Lois? Yes, I actually don't live far from Uncle Joe, a.k.a. the Perez. Oh, cool. Right on. Well, when you see him walking around the street with Dr. Jill, tell him Bill the Geek says hello. Tell him to subscribe. Tell him to mention me in his next speech. Tell him to bring up the Bill Dallas Lewis channel in the next presidential debate. In fact, tell him to get a hat that says the Bill Dallas Lewis channel on it, and have him suggest that everyone subscribe to the Bill Dallas Lewis channel. Don't talk about Donald Trump. Talk about the Bill Dallas Lewis channel. And we do this every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. If you're new here, introduce yourself and consider clicking that subscribe button. We're almost at 12,000 subscribers. And we have a Facebook page. It's called Mexico Expats Living in Mexico, Bill Dallas Lewis. And I think there's a link to the description below. I don't know. Somebody suggested that I make a Facebook group. Now it's only about four months old. We have about 266 subscribers. I saw Char posted something there, but you can ask questions there. I don't visit it too often right now. I've been kind of busy. But anyway, let's just keep on. Here we go. Lois is Canadian. There you go. Canadians. Woo! Detroit. 25 each when I was in high school. He's talking about White Castle. Kim J, yes. I'm still in beautiful San Miguel. I'll be in touch about an interview. Now, and for what it's worth, people have asked me about Dennis Miller. He's a senior citizen. Right now, he lives in Mazatlan. I did 3 interviews with him about 6 months ago. He was trying to sell his farm in southern Arizona, which he did. And now he's renting a home in Mazatlan. And he wants to buy an orchard in Durango, Mexico, which is a wonderful place. I think the cost of living there is very low. I talked with him a couple of days ago. So we're going to do an interview once he gets a laptop. He says it's going to be about 30 days, but he's going to buy property. He's 77. He's buying property in Durango, an orchard, and he's 77. He's still got game, right on. And who is this over here but Seasum, and I'm sure I said your name wrong. Ola Bill, it's great to have your experience perspective on Mexico, especially as a brother. Yes. And I'm going to talk about, I mean, as a brother, I mean, being in Morelia is fabulous. I haven't seen a Canadian or an American the whole time I've been here. And that's almost 10 days. Maybe Monday it'll be 14 days of me being here. And it's so nice not to be around any Americans. And I'm going to make a new video about where you should go if you're moving to Mexico. Because for me, it's all about clearing my mind of things that I am supposed to be. I saw a great video on YouTube this week, and this guy was saying, well, it's like, well, you're born in this spot, and then you're born with this skin color, and then you're born being a male or a female, and then they give you a name, they teach you a language, and then they tell you all your history, and that's what you are. All this stuff that is so crazy, all of a sudden, that's what you are. And being here without all of those conditions, I get to reinvent myself and just try to figure out who I am day by day without those definitions. It's a really wonderful experience. Let's go see what Gin and Juice is talking about. Bill, as you lose old subscribers, you will gain new ones like Gin and Juice. Thank you so much, Gin and Juice. White Castle, you thought the guy really liked you if he took you for White Castle burgers. Oh, okay. From Virginia, part-time, live in Guadalajara. I love Mexico. I lived in Guadalajara for many years. You're so funny, but I will. Rudy Clemens, my man in the house. Tell your lovely wife I said hello. Are you getting used to? Oh, okay. Let's talk about that right now. Let's talk about that right now. Are you getting used to the hills and steep walkways? What about the elevation? Any noticeable changes? Okay, let's talk about that right now. Very important. First of all, I don't know what's going on, but let's talk about my hair. Okay. Um, when I was living in Mazatlan, my hair was bushy. The same hair was bushy. If I was still in Mazatlan, I would have to cut my hair, but it's like I don't know what happened. It's like all the moisture's out of my hair now. Now it's really flat. That's the weird thing. Now another thing is now I haven't talked about this at all, but I live on a hill, and it's a steep hill. It's like a 2-block steep hill. And you're going to see some video clips here in a second. Most of Morelia is very flat. If you're in El Centro, that's going to be very flat. Walking around town, you're going to see some clips in a minute, me walking around town. But I live up on a hill, and my apartment is on the 3rd floor. And we don't have an elevator in here. So when I leave and come back, I got to go up 3 flights of steps. So, and then when I was in Mazatlan, my walk that I do 5 days a week for an hour a day, that was all flat. So I had to retrain myself so that I could get in shape to walk up this hill. Because like I'm going to go shopping when I leave, when we stop broadcasting. So I have to prepare my body for that. So for the last 2 weeks, I have changed my workout. And I showed you this last week, but like I've got these 2 computers in front of me, some lights in front of me. But you can see that's the very edge of Morelia, those houses up on the mountain. But in the middle of the picture, you'll see that everything is flat. And if I walk about 5 minutes down the hill, I am on all flat land. Once I get to the bottom of the hill, it's a 5-minute walk, but it's all flat once I get down here. So I'm going to show you right now how I adjusted my walk so I can get in shape. So and you're going to see some hills here in my community. Also, I want to mention I've seen so many young people. It's awesome, but people and there are so many different kinds of people that live on my hill. Young people, families. I see a lady, she's like 85, walking up and down these hills every day. But here is my new walk, and I sped it up. This is a 1-hour walk. Here we go. So there you go. That's how I get down to my little shop. You can see that's quite a descent down there on the way back. So I come down here to this corner, and then I walk up this hill 7 times and walk back down. Sorry, the video is kind of jerky. Here's where I live right there. We're walking by it right there. There's some people that I see every day. There's a park over on the right-hand side. It takes me 5 minutes to walk up this hill. Then I walk back down, and I go up and down 7 times. That takes 1 hour and 5 minutes. And here, that is my new walk. And for what it's worth, what is this? Here is the building where I live. I'm going to start that again. There's a little hill there, and that's the door I walk into to get into my apartment, and I am on the top floor. And there you can see I'm the only one that has my window open. You can see on the left-hand side on the top. That's why I have such a wonderful view. So now I'm going to take you with me on an adventure now. After the broadcast today, I'm going to walk down the hill. There are about 5 streets where you can walk down the hill. And there are people that walk their dogs, young people, older people, they walk their dogs up and down this hill every morning at 6:30 in the morning. I'm just going to walk down the hill. And once I get down this hill, then I'm going to end up in a place where there are all of these shops. It's just blocks and blocks and blocks of shops like this. Cremeria, Arbeletes, da, da, da. You go in here, and it's a cremeria. And that's one of the owners right there. They have fruits and vegetables and bread. Look at all the fruits. This is like 3 blocks away from where I live. A cremeria, all kinds of different cheeses. Cremeria, that means a cheese shop. I'm going to show you many different shops here. But when I was living in Mazatlan, in the neighborhood where I lived, you would have to walk you'd have to go like 30 blocks or take a bus to get to a place like that. Here, I feel like I have returned to Mexico again. I feel like I'm really in Mexico because Mazatlan, where I lived, it was so touristy, and even the Mexican-owned restaurants, all their prices, you're paying $10 for a cheeseburger, stuff like that. They didn't have any cremerrias in the neighborhood I was in. You would have to walk like 40 blocks to get into a Mexican community that would have a cremeria, a meat shop, stuff like that. But here I'm 3 blocks away from all of that. Here is a little juice shop. Yes, you can just go in there, eat some breakfast. There's the owner. You get bacon and eggs, coffee, just a little shop. And the owner was hot. She wanted my phone number. I told her, "No, girl, you can't have my phone number. No, I don't think so." So let's get back into chat and see what people are talking about here. See if okay. Let me see. Oh, okay. Jamie is in the house. Buenos dias, everyone from Canada. Jamie, great to see you in the house. And we have SP going to Las Grutas. It's a place of hot mineral springs not too far from you. Many video possibilities there. I'll have to put that on my map. Any issue with dry eyes, dry skin? I think that I do believe that my skin is drier, but it feels dry in a good way. I have a weird shower setup now. My shower is cool, but my landlord, when I moved in, he said, "Okay, what temperature do you want your shower to be?" I said, He said, try 43. I don't know if that's 43. It must be Celsius. So he says, try 43. So now all I have to do is turn on the hot water. And when I get in the shower, I have to wait 60 seconds. When I get in the shower, it's always the perfect temperature. You just turn it on, and it's always the perfect temperature. So I go do my walk. Another thing about living here is that when I lived in Mazatlan, I had to walk. I had to get up at 4:30 in the morning so that I could leave my apartment at 5:10 a.m. so I could get in my hour walk before it was too humid and hot to walk. Now, instead of getting up at 4:30, I can get up at 6:30, leave here at 7, get in an hour walk, and I'm not sweating until I'm like 30 minutes into my walk. It's wonderful, and I'm real close to starting to wear gloves for my walk in the morning. Okay. Now why am I talking about that? Well, let's go on here to other changes. Ms. Sam, the Mexican authorities are cracking down on illegal immigration. People are trying to get to America. Most of those people are Black. They're Haitians and Hondurans. And that's what Will and Ruth were telling me. They were saying, well, it could be because all of the Haitians and Hondurans and Will and Ruth are Black people. So that may have been a part of that crackdown. Oh, humidity has an effect on hair, ladies. Okay, yeah, my hair's like so much thinner. It's weird. But it's more pretty now. That doesn't look a lot better than it used to. I was gonna cut my hair, but I look at that. That my hair looking damn good. What do you think? That woo-wee. Okay. Steve, ANG gated communities in Centro there. Any, I think you would mean. Yeah, there are gated communities. I have not walked on all of the streets on my hill, but I went up to the top of that mountain that I walk up and down on. Then I walk down into the city, and there are like 3 gated communities. There are like 3 gated communities walking down the hill, and they're beautiful. There are gated communities throughout Morelia, where you have to have a key and a password to get in, whatever. Don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you, Brian, Pretty Boy Maiden, for reminding everybody to do so. What do you think about? I don't know anything about it. I'll have to look it up on the map. Very good. Ever ask and car owners as why they have a car? That's a very good question. Well, I had a car for 12 years. I'm so happy I don't have a car anymore. My landlord has a car. I don't want a car. There's no reason to have a car. Okay, now that hill, like I found this fantastic super grocery store. I might go there today. If I do some heavy shopping, I can walk there in about 10 minutes. 10 minutes, I'm there. Buy a bunch of stuff. If I order a DD, and that's going to cost me 24 pesos, and it's going to bring me right up the hill, and I'm back at the crib. For 24 pesos, that's like $1. That's like $1.10. And I would do that maybe once a week. I go down to the corner store at the bottom of the hill, maybe once a day. I can walk back from there. Why would I need a car? A car is just a pain in the butt. I don't need a car for anything. Why would you have a car? And if more people used cars and mass transportation, then we wouldn't have all this pollution problem. I don't see why it's so selfish to have a car. It looks like the hills of Puerto Vallartas near Conchas Chinas. Yeah, Conchas Chinas is a beautiful part of Puerto Vallarta. It's a way, I'm going to say, if you live in Conchas Chinas, you need a car. because it's up on a hill and it's out of town. You got to walk. It's about a quarter of a mile out of the south end of Puerto Vallarta. It's beautiful. And if you can rent or buy and you're up on that hill with all those white buildings, and I had friends there, and their whole apartment condo was outside on like 4 stories. Like the kitchen was on the first story. It's all outside, dusty as hell. But Conchas Chinas is a beautiful place to live. But you live there, you got to have a car. Lenora Wilson, Bill, I have to watch the replay, have to go out, have a great day. Thank you for showing up, Lenora. Brian Maiden, those kind of places I like to eat and have coffee. Me too, Brian Maiden. We have some more clips to come soon. Billy, I find Mega Cable internet is great. I had Mega. You know what? Right now I'm broadcasting on Total Play, but that comes with my rent. But I had Mega Cable in Mazatlan for 2 years, and they were great because if you needed help, you just hit 9 on their buttons in the telephone call, and they'll talk to you in English. So I think I'm going to have Mega Cable put in here instead of Total Play. I already have Total Play, but I'm broadcasting on Total Play right now, but it's a shared service. I think there are like 8 people in the building using it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get Mega Cable. It's great service. Savvy, yes. Being able, sorry, folks, being able to walk to a local cremeria or supermercado is important for better health. It's great. It's great doing my morning walk and then getting in shape every morning, walking up and down the hill. Yes, you are so right. Oh, your hair looks great. Thank you, Meg. Thank you so much. Okay, now, Steve, good morning. Bill from Mazatlan. Steve, great to have you here. And I live in the mountains of West Virginia. Morelia sounds wonderful. Thanks, Bill. And Russ donated to the channel this week in thanks for. I want to thank you. It was a big donation too. I might buy a car with that donation, but thank you, Russ, for donating to the channel. But before we go on, let's get back to some views now. Right next to the cheese shop or the cremeria was, I'm just I'm just walking around. I don't know anything, but right next to the cheese shop, and both of these places are right across the street from a park, was this meat market. Carne de uno calidad. That means meat of first quality. And I peeked in there, and they have all kinds of meat. They have cheese in there. Now, this is Mexico. This is Mexico. They have chicken, whole chicken, part chickens, beef, ribs. They have it all in here. It's a big market. This is like 4 blocks from where I live. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about living in Mexico. That's living in Mexico right there. And I told you that the streets were pretty flat. I continue to walk and explore the neighborhood to get these videos for you guys so you can see what was going on down here. But this, and I said that everything was flat, and this is this is like blocks and blocks and blocks And look at the quality of the cars: BMWs, Audis, Mercedes, Kias, brand new vehicles, just flat. You can just walk around and shop for hours and hours and hours. And then I found a fresh panaderia. That means a bread shop. And in the bread shop, they have all kinds of fresh bread and pastries, and it's all fresh right there. This is maybe 5. And look at my reflection over there with the red hoodie outside and the camera. Yeah, I live in Mexico, and very close. Here is a cocina japonesa. That means a Japanese kitchen. This is around 10:30 in the morning, so they're closed right now. And I haven't returned while they are open. This is about 4 or 5 blocks from where I live. I mean, this is the joys. These are the joys. These are the true joys of living in Mexico. I love it. Okay, here we go. Dennis. I always enjoy having a vehicle in Mexico because maybe once a week or every few weeks, I can take a day trip to another city or just drive up or down the coast. Love the convenience. Good for you. And I've done that also. It was very enjoyable. Steve in Kansas City. Ever written a children's book in Spanish for the American audience? Would be very interesting. No, I have not done that. Having a car brings leisure and ability to just be so easy as what you make it. No car, great. Having a car, great. I choose a car. Yeah, I'm done with cars. I don't unless a bunch of people contribute to the channel. If a bunch of people contribute to the channel, I might get a car. It would have to be maybe once I get up to 200,000 subscribers and I go live and a lot of people donate to the channel so I can get a car. Maybe then I'll get a car. Okay, wonderful, clean, wide open roads and sidewalks. What's the deal with banning that? Oh, why? Well, it's not yes. One reason I don't have a car now is my car was banned from Mexico. It was illegal for me to have my car in Mexico. If I just had a tourist visa, a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, or 4 year visa, and American plates, it was okay to have my car. But once I got a permanent visa, then I could no longer drive my car legally, which really sucked. Whatever. Mary Jane, where is the beer store? At the bottom of my hill. Let's go back over here. Okay, hold on here a second. Okay, right here. At the bottom of this hill, right at the bottom of this hill is a tienda. It's a beer store. But it's more like an everything store. They have everything in there. And they're all over the place. Happiness definition, enjoying the passage of time. I think you've mastered it, Bill. Yeah. I mean, it's really, I mean, this is the way to live. I mean, these images, these videos that I'm showing you, hold on a second. Here we go. Okay, here we go. And all of these little shops, they all sell beer. They sell beer, tostadas, tacos, tortillas, sandwiches, chips, water, beer, they've got it all. And of course, they even have internet cafes. Yeah, and this is all within walking distance. When I lived in Mazatlan, I lived in a touristy neighborhood. They didn't have neighborhoods like this. Now, of course, I didn't venture into where the Mexican people lived in Mazatlan, but yeah, but it's all here now. This place, and I'm just walking around, enjoying myself, checking things out. But on the left-hand side, there's a market right here, and they sell beer in here, fresh bread. All these places have fresh Mexican bread, fresh Mexican sandwiches, all your canned corn. You can see eggs over there on the left-hand side. But I go into this place and look at the fresh. That's all today fresh bread. This is five. Oh, now. Oh, I turned that off too soon. But this is the owner here. You're going to see her in a second. Her and her son Anthony. And you can see they've got deodorant and dishwashing detergent, bananas, tomatoes, toilet paper, paper towels, electrolyte, cereal, peanut butter and jelly, beans, canned. They got it all in there. There's ice way back here. And that's like 3 or 4 blocks away from where I live. And the lady behind the counter, she says, would you rather speak English or would you rather speak Spanish? And I said, well, I am better with my English. Can you speak English? She says, yeah. And she told me, well, me and my family, we lived in Orange County, California for 30 years. She said it just got too expensive. So they moved back from California after 30 years after living in moved back to Morelia after living in California. And her son had only known American life. He's an American. And we talked for quite some time, and I'll be going back to her shop again and again and again. Okay, now let's see. And let me click this button. Feel free to donate. Anybody, feel free to click the donate button if you're watching the rebroadcast. If you're watching the rebroadcast like tomorrow or next week or whatever, you can click. There's a donate button at the bottom in the description below. And oh yeah, if you click the donate button, you can use PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, or American Express. Yes, you can. We have 85 people in the house, 40 likes, and we have $10 in donation. Thank you so much. Okay, now no car, SP. Oh, here we go. No car for me. Love my Uber and Didi. It's great to sit back and relax and not dealing with the locals. I love not having a car. Now I have a relationship with a taxi driver who takes me right back to where I live when I go down to the big superstore. Lots of sports bars there. Much. Yes, they have sports bars here. And you can see about any sport that you want. You can be in El Centro out here where I am. Yes. Love that definition of happiness. David, hey, Bill, have you experienced the smell of the paper mill where you are? No. David, I'm up here on a hill, so maybe that cleans the air. I don't know. Any pizza places there that feature mainly Mexican meats and cheeses and spices. Pizza down here in Mexico is pizza down here in Mexico is really different. And I'm going to say I've only had one okay pizza. Notice I didn't say good. I had one okay pizza in Mexico in 20 years. And I mean, in Mexico, they put cheap ham and cheap cheese on a pizza. They call it pizza. It's really not pizza. They'll put hot dogs on pizza and call it pizza. No. I wish an Italian family would come down here and start a pizza chain, or even a Greek family. Greeks make better pizza than Italians do. Whatever. Brian, Pretty Boy Maiden, have you ever encountered getting mad at you for walking around with a camera? Yeah. A guy this week. I'll show you his shop in a second. It looked like a hardware store. And I was shooting outside of his store. And then he came outside the store and then started talking to some guy, and they were staring me down in the street. And so I walked back a half block. I said, "Oh yeah, I make YouTube videos." They were still mad. It's like I might be with the mob or something. It was like, oh, you know, whatever. I got a camera. Your store's on the street. It's in public. You don't want anybody to see your store, then put it underground. Have people have keys to get in and stuff like that. Okay. Any cool vending machines there that offer fresh taco, burrito, or dessert? I have not seen that anywhere. Where in the OC did the shop owner live? Where in the OC? The shop owner is only like 5 blocks away from where I live. And like the lady where I went in, the lady that I went in and talked to her, I gave her son's a YouTube freak. I gave him my card. I said, here's my YouTube channel. I shot videos all in her shop. The cream shop, I shot videos all in their shop. I mean, that's what I do. Get over it. Char Williams, I have a passport appointment next week, but my birth certificate doesn't have the required info. I went yesterday to get a complete birth certificate, but all the global blackout said, nope, we'll try again Tuesday. And that's so funny. My birth certificate, until I had it updated, like maybe a year ago, my birth certificate for race, it said colored, and it had my last name, but not my first and middle name. And I never noticed that until I was like 65 years old. So I had to contact Franklin County in Columbus, Ohio, to have my birth certificate all redone. So yeah, it's a trip. Birth certificates and the government. Okay, what's it like after 9 p.m.? No, noisy, quiet. What's the deal? Okay, that is on my list of things to talk about. When I lived in Mazatlan, I was on the 4th floor. The complex was very nice. Swimming pool, 3 blocks from the ocean. But the thing about Mazatlan, 3 blocks from the ocean, all those hotels and resorts, 4 blocks from where I lived, right on the ocean, they played music every night from 9 p.m. until 4 o'clock in the morning. 9 p.m. to 4 o'clock in the morning, every night. I could hear it every night. I would have to close all my doors and windows and put on white noise in the background all night. And if I woke up and I couldn't hear any music playing, then I knew it was after 4 o'clock in the morning. It was messed up. I lived like that for 2 years in a really nice, expensive apartment. But here, At nighttime, the only thing I hear is crickets. It's quiet. I haven't heard a peep in 2 weeks. All I hear is crickets. All night. It's very quiet here. I haven't heard anything. Let's see what else is going on. I have seen bullfights in Spain. Is it legal to have bullfighting there? I don't know. I don't know. I've seen bull rings. Where was I? Where I saw a bull ring? I think I saw a bull ring in Puerto Vallarta. I forget. Now, good morning, Deborah. Great to see you in the house. Meg, you can grate pizza in Coyoacán, Mexico City, but that's a bit of a hike for you. Yes, I won't be seeing that for quite some time, but thank you for that great tip. Hola, Bill and amigos. Glad to catch the show. Buck Stops here. Always great to see you in the house. Axel Foley, I guess once you become a part of the community, filming will be okay. I hope so. Okay, William Mustache Stoneman. I was taking pictures and videos in La Comer in Juriquilla. A man in a suit approached me and told me to stop taking any pics videos. Yeah. And La Comer is the place that, I mean, in fact, I was in there yesterday. Yeah, I was in there yesterday. It's fabulous in there. And I was going to ask the security guy if I could take videos, but I had a clue that they were not going to allow that to happen. I've been in communities. Where was I? I was in Guadalajara. I was outside on the sidewalk just taking pictures of the mall in the most expensive city, the most expensive suburb in Guadalajara. And the security came up to me and said, no, you can't take pictures here. In Ajijic, in that mall, in Ajijic, Matt Brazelton, in that mall, it's called the Laguna Mall, something like that. I think I was taking pictures at the Laguna Mall, and they said, oh no, you can't take pictures here. So, whatever. Okay. Char Williams, it doesn't have my parents listed. That's funny. Char Williams is talking about her birth certificate. It doesn't have her parents listed. Bill, what are your thoughts on those tiny buses in Morelia? Ms. Sam has talked, they're called combis, and Ms. Sam, she talks about them all the time. She says she gets on them. They go all around town, all that kind of stuff. I haven't been on one yet. I'm scared. I need to just I just need to get on one and go all around town, see what happens, just sit there, see where I show up, see if I can figure anything out. And if I get lost, I just get off and call Dee Dee and they'll take me home. I haven't been on one yet. Is breakfast a big there? Are restaurants open very early in the morning? Yes. Breakfast in Mexico is called desayuno, and it's huge. And you can find breakfast at many places. I'd say as early as 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. Sure, breakfast is huge and very important in Mexico. And you can have a Mexican breakfast, which is very different than a U.S. or Canadian breakfast, or you can get my big breakfast meal is scrambled eggs and bacon and maybe hash browns and some toast. Toast is kind of hard to get a hold of. Rarely do they have toast. They'll give you some kind of bread. Good luck on how that shows up. Yeah, there you go. All right. Ever seen an IHOP in Mexico? Good for breakfast, I think, all day long. They do have an IHOP. To my understanding, they do have an IHOP here in Morelia. That's what I heard. I think David said so. My Detroit Wayne County birth certificate is in cursive. Whole thing. Many young people can't even read cursive. That's funny. That is hilarious. That is just hilarious. We still have some images to share with you. Okay. Anthony, here we go. Here's another breakfast shop right here. And this is early morning. The lady's cleaning up, and they're getting ready to serve up some breakfast. And they have comic books for free. But you can go in here and get juices. The sign says desayuno, breakfast. And right down the street, here is a gym. Vida Fitness, Life Fitness. And they have all kinds of modern workout equipment in there. I walked in there. I almost shot some video, but some people get weird with videos. Sometimes I shoot and sometimes I don't. But you can see the nice flat streets. I'm really enjoying life here in Morelia. It's a wonderful place. It's Mexico. This is Mexico. And I'm going to make a video. I think I'm going to put it out next Thursday, because I tell people, people ask me all the time. They say, well, I'm moving to Mexico. Where should I live? And I'm going to say for the last year, I'm going to say maybe for the last couple of years, I've been saying, well, you might want to try Ajijic, Chapala, because all of the expats that live there, and there are a lot of English-speaking people that live there. And you can ask all of these expats questions. Well, where should I live? Where should I go? What have you seen? But I'm thinking now that I'm in Morelia, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to put it out, I think, Thursday of this week. And I'm going to say that move to a place in Mexico where there aren't any expats. And you just show up, figure out a way to communicate with your landlord or your property owner, or hire somebody to translate for you if you're going to buy property or rent a property, get that ball rolling. But once you get a place, then what are you going to do? You're going to, I think moving into a real Mexican community is much better than living with a bunch of expats. For me, that works. I enjoy, and I think Ms. Sam will tell you, I enjoy just walking around the shops. And I've met many people here that do speak English. I had a taxi driver yesterday, a DD driver, and he was bringing me back from La Comer, the big superstore there where William Mustache Stone Man said they wouldn't let him shoot video. So this is the second time I've had him for a taxi driver. We're driving back to my place up the hill, and he was telling me he spoke English. He said he had lived in Chicago for 30 years. Lots of Mexicans speak English, or at least enough English where you can have a conversation. But anyway, I'm going to make a video that's going to suggest that people move to places where they're only Mexicans. The prices are going to be lower all around, and I I less stressful. Also, someone shared with me I spoke with someone, an American, about 10 days ago. They live in a big expat town. I'm not going to reveal what that highly expat town was, But she was having problems with the expats in her town because she wasn't joining the expat groups that they were a part of. She wasn't doing things that expats did. She spoke Spanish and they didn't. And it was causing a lot of stress for her. And she was paying an ungodly amount of rent. Whatever. So let's get back. Let's get back to comments, see what I'm missing out on here. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Angela. Wow, I didn't miss out. I got a late start today. Angela, rather great, than not at all. Thank you for today's travels. Thank you for joining us today. Bill, are there any malls and fine dining restaurants with live music? I'm sure there are. There's a mall. I can walk to the mall from here in like 10 minutes with fine dining restaurants. And I'm sure, Morelia has 1 million people. I'm sure there are I'm sure there's live music all over town with 1 million people. Many gambling casino type places there. Is there a Las Vegas type city in Mexico? All big shows and big gambling. Good luck with that. I'm not a gambler. I don't gamble at all. I have been to casinos in Puerto Vallarta like one time, but I don't gamble. I stay away from those people. Do a Google search for that. Are the cops plentiful there, sitting in their vehicles or patrolling the beat? I've seen 2 or 3 police cars since I've been here in this 2-week period. I haven't seen any pedestrian policemen. I've only seen 1 police car on my street up here on the hill. Dominique, have you been to Santa Maria area? No, I haven't. It's supposed to be like a little old town, but more quiet. I'll have to put that list on my place to check out. That's what I did when I moved to Italy 7 years ago. But then I started talking about it like you're doing with Morelia. Now we have a bunch of Americans and Canadians here. My fault. That's funny. Yeah, my fault. That is hilarious. Yeah. I feel, I guess I don't want to broadcast too much because then a whole bunch of people will just start coming in here. You're bad. Yes. Oh, and look who's here. Robert. Hola from Puerto Panesco, Sonora. Welcome, Robert. Glad to see you in the house. Glad you could join us here today. David, hey, man, Maria and I went to Mercado San Juan a few days ago, and I saw the biggest turkey I've ever seen. It was over 30 pounds. It was still gobbling earlier that morning. And I tell you what, David, my new diet now is chicken thighs. I get pretty fresh chicken thighs. I eat that. I put it in the air fryer, and I eat that with avocado, tomato, baked potato. Yeah, and chicken thighs. Yeah. Oh, and these chicken thighs that I've been buying at La Comer, the super giant store, these are the biggest chicken thighs I've ever seen in my entire life. They got really healthy animal food here. It's like, wow, man, there's big giant cows, giant chickens. Yeah, come on down here. And Charles Williams, thank you very much for contributing to the channel. Thanks for being here. I'm sure you have clicked that like button. And thanks for understanding for all of these 71 people that are still in the house that, yes, this is how I pay my rent, and all contributions are greatly appreciated, be it $2 or $5 or $10 or $20. Thank you so much for contributing to the channel so that I can buy chicken thighs and avocado. Also, I went to an open market yesterday, and I have videos from the open market that I was in yesterday, and I got fresh avocado. I got fresh yellow corn, 2 ears of yellow corn for 7 cents an ear. No, it was 15 pesos. It was like 20 cents an ear. Very good. Thank you, Char, so much. I salute you. You are so nice to spend time with, and your personality is very special. Thank you so much. Your presentation is so vast in scope. Love it. My morning is complete now. Steve in Kansas City, I'm sorry I couldn't answer the gambling questions. I don't gamble, man. I just don't. I dated a chick in Puerto Vallarta. In Puerto Vallarta, they had casinos, and this is maybe 12 years ago. And this girl, where was she from? She had family in Las Vegas. She used to be a go-go dancer on TV in California. And I went to a casino with her one night, and but all they had were the money machines. That's all they had was the money machines. Okay, and she just sat there and pushed that button until 4 o'clock in the morning. I mean, whatever. My dad used to gamble, but he just did horse races. And he lived in the Washington, D.C. area. So he was a gambling junkie. Well, he was a horse junkie. My dad didn't drink. He didn't smoke, didn't do any drugs, worked for the federal government. My dad was straight as an arrow. And so one time I went to visit him at his home in Washington, D.C., well, it was Gaithersburg. And so I get up. It was Thanksgiving weekend, I think. I walk into the kitchen, and Dad has some little cellular device, and he was going through the horse race thingies, checking the horse races for the next day. And he put the data in, and this little machine would predict what horses were going to win. And he was wide awake, and he was really into it. I was thinking, wow, what happened to Dad? What happened to Dad? So I went with him to the racetrack the next day, and we were both betting. We bet all the races, 6 races or 8 races, $2 at a time, $2 on this, $2 on that. I won $149 my first time at the racetrack. But anyway, I think that was one of the only times I've ever been gambling. Whatever. Now, here we go. Jacqueline, how are you enjoying your air fryer? I love, what camera? I love my air fryer. I use it every day. And I bought it here. I didn't bring my one from where I was living. I brought a brand new one here at La Comer. It was like $90. I use it every day. And it's so great because in Mexico, they have tortas, which are sandwiches that are filled with usually tomato, onion, maybe some cheese, some kind of meat. It can be pork or beef. And you can buy those at the little tiendas, the little corner stores. And they're always on Mexican fresh bread. So I've been buying tortas or these sandwiches on the Mexican fresh bread, which is awesome. And so whenever I buy a torta, I bring it home and I put it in the air. I open it up, put it in the air fryer, and get the bread nice and warm and toasty. I use the air fryer for all kinds of stuff. Frozen pizza, which I haven't had down here in Morelia yet. But I love my air fryer. Yes, I do. Mary Jane, I want to visit Morelia in January for my 62nd birthday. I want to visit for a week or so. Can you recommend an Airbnb? Yeah. Okay. Email me, Mary Jane. Email me directly on that, Mary Jane. Hold on a second here. Let me go over here. Let me scroll down. Okay. Email me directly on that at bill.dallas.lewis10@gmail.com. And I'll hook you up with the Airbnb that I was in. It was listed. Now, it's expensive. It was listed at $66 on Airbnb. So after they do all their fees and all that kind of stuff, it ended up being like $100 a night. But it was well worth it. It was right in El Centro. It was right in El Centro. You could walk to so many places to eat. But email me and I will hook you up with that. Ms. Sam, thank you so much for contributing to the channel so I can get on Combees and ride all around town. The Combees are these little vans. They take you all over the town, and they only cost like 10 pesos. They take you everywhere. Thank you so much for contributing to the channel. And look who's here. Crapo Productions, Dr. John. Hi, Bill. From my limited observations, I have noted that Mexicans have an aversion to being identified on the internet. Warranted or not. They fear being targeted. Have you noticed? Yes, and Dr. John is now moving from New Jersey to Pennsylvania to live nearer to or with his family, his kids and his grandkids. So he's moving out of a house he's been in for 35 years. But yeah, it's funny. Some Mexicans, they're just like Americans. Some of them don't want any cameras around. They get all bent out of shape if they even see a camera. But some people really like seeing a camera. Like I shot some videos, and what you saw them, I put the videos up last week with these bicyclers when they shut the roads down, and these bicyclers going by. People are waving like, yay, he has a camera. He's going to show by our picture somewhere. I had an American chick. I had my drone up in Mazatlan on the beach. Nobody's around. I had my drone up over the chick. I was just spinning around. My drone is up like 200 yards. Who's going? And she got all bent out of shape. She was an American chick. She got all bent out of shape. Her boyfriend wanted to fight me because I had my drone over her 200 yards up. So whatever. I don't know what's wrong with people today. Axel Foley, have you seen any vegan restaurants? Sure. There are vegan restaurants all over Morelia. I'm going to say that most restaurants in Morelia are vegan restaurants. I'm lying. I have seen a few. But when I say a few, I mean there's only a few vegan restaurants anywhere you go. So I'm saying with 1 million people here, I bet there are all the vegan restaurants that you ever want to see. And I want to thank Brian, Pretty Boy Maiden, for contributing to the channel, understanding that this is how I pay my rent and buy my vegan food and my juice drinks. One thing that you will see tons of in Mexico, everywhere I've been, has been, first of all, ice cream shops. You'll find ice cream shops everywhere in Mexico. And secondly, surprising to me is fresh juice shops. You know, what you want, juiced strawberries, you want juiced carrots, you want juiced potatoes, you want juiced whatever you want juiced. They have those everywhere. I mean, it's amazing. The Mexicans, yeah, there is obesity in Mexico. They do have people with problems with that blood sugar thing, diabetes. They have a diabetes program in Mexico. You will see many overweight people walking around in Mexico. But I mean, when I walk in the morning, there are a bunch of young people walking, middle-aged people walking, elderly people walking. And you saw the fitness place that I just showed you a couple of minutes ago. They have fitness places all over Mexico. So Mexico is very health-oriented, I must say. Okay, and Brian Maiden, and again, Brian Pretty Boy Maiden, thank you so much for contributing to the channel. Oh, money for your chicken thighs. Thank you. And these chicken thighs, I just made up. I usually, when I do the chicken thigh thing, I'll make 2 of them and that will be a meal. But these things are so big, I can only eat one avocado, a chicken thigh. Last night I had, what I had last night? A chicken thigh, an avocado, and an ear of yellow corn. And let's, I'm going brain dead. Oh man, I had a brilliant idea and it just all went away. I'm getting old. Oh, brain fart. But thank you very much, Brian. Oh man, I remember MX beef being very different from US beef. We used to buy steaks from a butcher that sold beef from Sonora, one of the border states, far superior to most beef in Mexico. Okay. Yeah, I kind of stick with the chicken. And Mexicans love barbecue. Almost every tienda. And when I say tienda, that means little corner market, the tienda, little corner market. Almost every tienda, almost every OXXO you go into, you can find Heinz barbecue sauce. Yeah, man. Yeah. And if you can find Heinz barbecue sauce about anywhere, that means that Mexicans love it. And I got some Heinz barbecue sauce in my refrigerator, and I put that on my chicken thighs before I stick it in the air fryer. That's what makes it yum, good. Now, let's go over here. It's amazing corn, 7 cents an ear. Yes. Can you adopt me to reside in Mexico? Sure. U.S.'s program stress. Yeah. Now, let me do the math on that. I got 2 yellow corn in Mexico is kind of hard to find. So when I can buy it, I do buy it. But it was 2 ears of Mexican corn, of yellow corn for 15 pesos. 2 ears, 15 pesos. Do the math. And I do have it in my notes to talk about how much my rent is as of today. As of today, my rent for this month, if I paid my rent today, would be $491 a month. Right now, my rent would be $491 a month. And also, let me say that I have not seen one insect at all. Not an ant, not a giant cockroach, not a mosquito, not one insect in the house in 2 weeks. $491 a month, and no sounds at nighttime. Let's keep on rolling down here. Crappo, Dr. John contributes to the channel so I can go out and get some cerveza, which is what I think I might do right after the broadcast at my tienda right down on the corner. Thank you so much, Dr. John. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing up, sharing your ideas. And if you're enjoying this, we go live every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. Bill the Geek broadcasting live from Morelia, Mexico. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel. Thank you so much. And Jamie, my man, Jamie, after show beer. Woo! So everybody, I guess everybody knows that I might drink a beer, but thank you so much. Robert, I almost said Roberto. Thank you so much for contributing to the channel. This is how we pay our rent. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, Miss Sam told me that. Me and Miss Sam, we talked for like an hour on the phone. We talked for like an hour and a half on the phone about 3 weeks before I got, and she told me she was a vegan, and she loves this place. I live in Morelia. There are many vegan restaurants here. There you go. Isn't that what I said? That's what I thought. Ice cream shops right next to one another everywhere. It's freaky, Jacqueline. It's freaky deaky, the number of ice cream shops. And a lot of that ice cream is homemade stuff. Steve, yes, they have casinos here, but they are pretty small, not like Vegas. Yeah, and at the casino that I went to in Puerto Vallarta, it was all slot machines. You couldn't play card games. But I was somewhere in Mazatlan. I was somewhere in Mazatlan, and I was with a taxi driver, and I asked the taxi driver, well, can you play card games in this casino? And he said yes. But I'm not a gambler. I don't like it. Have you found raw seafood yet? I love seafood. Yes, the place, I was in an open market yesterday. Lots of raw seafood, but it's not like sushi. I've never seen good sushi anywhere in Mexico. You'll see many shops, and you'll see lots of sushi shops, like, oh, sushi, but it's always egg rolls, not egg rolls, but those rolls of sushi. Like if you go to a real sushi place, that might be a side dish that you would get with your real sushi, but they'll have rice rolls. It'll have some peas in it and some corn and maybe a couple of pieces of tuna fish out of a can, and they'll call that sushi. All right. Now, here we go. $491 is the cost for a car payment. And yes, I had a brand new Jeep Cherokee Limited SUV in Cincinnati. I bought it in 1990. And my car payment in 1990 for a brand new Jeep Cherokee Navy Blue Limited with a sunroof, 4-wheel drive, was $495 a month. That's funny. Okay. Okay. And Will Ortiz became a YouTube member. Thank you so much. Yes, you guys can click the member button also. I'm still playing with that option. Thank you, Will Ortiz. Jack and I bought white corn and boiled it forever. It ended up throwing it away. I love yellow corn. If you come down here, let me say this. If you go to any big event in Mexico, you know, like any kind of festival, you know, where maybe you go to Lyon, to the balloons flying, any big event where there's going to be lots of people in the daytime or night, well, there are going to be these vendors, and all they sell is corn. It's in a cup. And then you can put some hot peppers on it, maybe some cream, and it looks really good, but it's white corn. It tastes like crap. White corn. Who in the United States, white corn, they give that to the cows. That's cow food. But in Mexico, Mexicans eat that. It has no taste. But people in Mexico eat it. But yellow corn, especially this is July. What the thing in the United States is knee high by the 4th of July. If you're an American and you live anywhere in the United States where they have fresh tomatoes in the summertime and fresh corn on the cob, nothing better than an American fresh tomato in August with some yellow corn and maybe a good cheeseburger. Woo-hoo! Oh, yeah. Now we talking now. Hey, everyone, why not become a member? Sure. Click the member button. And Matt Brazelton, 3 words. Oh, that's funny, Matt. Modelo. Yep, that's what I'll be buying. Modelo. Yes, sure. Matt, that really threw me off because people show up every week with a new city they want me to visit. And they put that up there and I can't pronounce it. And, you know, and I saw that. I looked at it and I was thinking, oh, what kind of language is that? What kind of language is that? And I read it and it made sense. Thank you so, Matt, in Ahihi, for contributing to the channel. This is how I pay my rent. Thank you so much. And even Axel Foley's joining the club, donating to the channel. Saturday morning is very important because Bill the Geek is broadcasting live from Morelia. Have a cold cerveza on me. And look who just became a member, Brian Pretty Boy Maiden. The ladies' man has become a member. We got members lining up. Thank you so much, folks. Mary Jane, I know you looked hot in that Jeep. Yeah, when I bought that Jeep, I was in Cincinnati, Ohio. Let's see what camera am I looking at here. When I bought that Jeep, I lived in Cincinnati, Ohio. And yeah, that Jeep, I drove that. That's when I was writing children's book. I drove that car from California to Connecticut, making author visits. That was with leather interior, super stereo. I had my dog Hollywood, the Wonder Dog, with me. I love that car. Woo! Yes. That car was hot. But anyway, so let's see what's on my list here. We've been at it for almost 2 hours now. I'm just checking my list here. What did I leave out? I'm just checking my list. Okay. I hit everything on the list. I want to thank, we have a brand new setup this morning. We have room for our computers. Jamie, who's here with us today. Last week he said the lighting was bad, so I've got my lighting up, and this week I'm going to invest in new technology for my internet connection. I'll have some more videos. I went to a street market yesterday. I'm going to put up a video, I think Monday, about that street market. I'm going to put up a video on Thursday about if you're an expat moving to Mexico, where should you live? Should you live in a highly populated expat place or move to a place where there are no expats at all? I'm going to put up that video, I think, on Thursday. Okay, Brian Maiden, thank you so much for contributing to the channel. Thanks for your cash donation and becoming a member. See you all in the house next weekend. Peace and love to all. And that's what it should all be about. Peace and love. Thank you very much, Brian Maiden. I just clicked the wrong button and the map is showing up. Carrie Lee, I'm glad to see you're enjoying life in your new apartment. Thank you so much. And people are booking up. Thank you, Dominique. And hey, I love it here. It's inexpensive. The people are very friendly, and I haven't seen any expats in 2 weeks. Okay, now Ray Garcia, the Morelia is the only city where I found the diced fruit salad stands called gazpacho. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, you guys, so I'm getting ready to hit the road. I'm getting ready to get out of here. If you're watching the rebroadcast and you want to donate to the channel, there's a link in the description below. It says donate. You can use PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, or American Express. We have a new Facebook group. It's growing. We have like 266 folks on that group. It's called, there's a link in the description below. You can click that. I think by this time next year, we should have about 1,000 people on that list. It'll keep growing. We're almost at 12,000 subscribers. I think we have about 11,800 and about 64 subscribers right now. The channel is growing. I'm hoping we can get it up to 20,000 subscribers by this time next year. Jacqueline, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for contributing to the channel. So I'm getting ready to adios, amigos. I'm ready to get the heck out of here. I want to thank everyone for showing up today and joining us. I hope I have new, fresh information for everyone next week. I hope I can share some joy and some love with everyone, and happiness and new ideas about creating a new life somewhere on the planet where people are happy and encourage your joy. So here we go, folks. I'm Bill the Geek. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, broadcasting live for the second time from Morelia, Mexico. Love you all. If you're not subscribed, click that subscribe button. We have many more presentations to come. Adios. Hasta luego. Que te vaya bien. Love you all. Bye.